Nah, solo leveling actually might be some heat. Hopping into it, we immediately start off with a flashback from 3 years ago. Off rip, I could already tell this group of lads were about to be used for kindle for a greater fire. They have served their purpose. You already know they was finna get cooked the moment the beginner boss appeared, and on top of that, the beginner boss really just the Ant-Man flock headed north for winter for real. Like, they stood no chance. Then Buddy tried to pop out the cut and put in crazy work with the swift stab, only to be chin checked expeditiously by Brock the big red ant. Had to name the ant because at that point he deserved it, way he caused critical damage to Buddy. I can't even blame him though. He thought he had canon event MC potential. He ain't even know he was just a background character with a small role to play for a larger cause. Then we had 3 mages that thought they was on par with Merlin and Scarlet Witch. I'm thinking they had some horsepower to retaliate the slide back for they mans that just got cold clocked by this steroid enhanced insect. Little did we know that flame wasn't even hot enough to keep me warm on a cold night. They brushed that spell off like a crumb on the shoulder, and that had to have been their trump card too, because the last thing I expected was for these ravaging ants to be so bloodlusted. Like, if you knew you ain't have a stronger move and was calling it quits already, now you gotta get sent to the upper room knowing death by insect is written in your eulogy. Like me personally, I have to slide back to life and rerun my ones because I refuse to go out that sad. And at least one of them got that opportune moment of redemption, because the moment Buddy was on his last limbs after being eaten alive, he was saved by Robin Hood one tapping the ant with the oversized javelin. Had me pondering the time period of this chaos, because the only era I ever known to use javelins with such efficiency is the Paleolithic era. But anyways, they gave Brody a shield potion, but unlike these lower class warriors who were incapable of spinning back like we just saw, the ants wasted absolutely no time in returning for a lick back tenfold, ready to jump and pounce, only to be countered yet again by this wannabe Thor Legend of Zelda Link built pedestrian, and immediately had the follow-up assist by this Craven the Hunter Wilderness eBay Victor Creed. I ain't gonna lie, they was running fade in that tag team, and it was hard until I came back to the realization that they're only boxing ants. Fast forward, they breaking down the essence of how all this came to be. But what caught me off guard was how they had this off-brand 5 and below Piccolo cosplay leading what they introduced as Magic Beast. That aside, we see the homie JinWoo slide in action for the first time at the bottom of the list is not one of, but the lowest ranking of classmen of hunters, putting us in present day, where we see JinWoo as the pinnacle example of what every person who's had it on the struggle of everyone sleeping on him with yet to go through his canon event, stepping in the gym to get big boy buffs. But what got me is before he even got to the point of any canon event happening, he already casually chopping it up with a baddie. And as they proceed accordingly into the dungeon, we see that man JinWoo getting attacked by this Cell Jr. mini Piccolo embodiment, struggling to handle his 1v1 like it's the game-winning battle in Apex or Fortnite for that victory royale. But he got his one and only weapon cracked and obliterated and cannot clutch up the dub, leaving him leaking all over the ground like it's time for an oil change in the whip. Luckily for the homie Jin, Shorty slid with the effective healings to secure bro's life insurance policy. Moving further into the episode, we see the homie Jin in between a rock and a hard place, left with the ultimatum to decide whether or not he about to risk his life again on a whole nother level or duck tail and run. And I'm already knowing he about to proceed with the mission, and while that may get him negative points with Shorty, we don't care about none of that, because we gotta secure this bag for baby sis and my dukes first, cheeks later. Then we hop into the city where we see a thief run into a baddie in the middle of the street, shifting from an instant transmission straight into a chin check with the effortless Chun-Li leg work athletic delivery on one fell swoop, wrecked Buddy's ride as he deserved, and secured the stolen merchandise while posing because she knew the camera was on her. She knew paparazzi was watching, making sure her good angle was captured, but then acted surprised as if she didn't just execute the most attention-seeking stunt. But I'm not mad at it though. Get your bag how you please, I guess. But what caught me off guard was how she then proceeded to pull a Clark Kent and leap tall buildings in a single bound. I almost forgot I was watching the anime and thought I was in DC Comics. Fast forward, now we in the second part of the dungeon, and it already looks like something out of the Rumbling on Attack on Titan. If it was me knowing I'm basically a human and Shorty told me it looked like she saw one of the statue's eyes move, you would have thought I was in a 100-meter dash for 500 mil against Sonic, way I would have dashed right back out of them double gates, because the last gates I'm trying to see is the gates of heaven. But they don't have those type of African American genealogy instincts like I possess. And plus this is an anime, so it's only natural that they continue to remain, and we watch as those doors then lock behind them as expected. What's crazy though was the moment he touched the statue, this large Gregorian beast of a statue then proceeds to turn that man into fresh tempura. Super rare. Now everyone shook in fear like they don't know what they just got themselves into. And I know it really had got serious the moment I saw JinWoo lock eyes with that statue, sent Buddy into a state of shock so deep he started having a midlife crisis, a flashback, explaining his whole life process up to date. I can't even blame him though. His fear made me scared for him. But nah, what got me though in his flashback was his shoes talking at the feet. He had the labor of 10 ancestries riding in them sneakers. But that made me think immediately back to the fact he had been rocking them sneakers the whole time and still managed to pull a baddie. He's contending with Duke Dennis, still has yet to have his canon event. But after that, we did see the statues turn into a cyclops with crazy laser work, immediately catching bodies. And had it not been for JinWoo screaming at the top of his lungs like a Spartan warrior descended straight from the depths of an Assassin's Creed Odyssey MC, more than half the lineup would be evaporated without a doubt. But overall, this is definitely a calmless series for sure, and I know without a doubt it's gonna catch on with more speed as I continue to watch. So I'm just letting the story ride out for now until I see more. But as of right now, it's not so bad. Gotta let the chicken fry first before it's crispy. With that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.